All right, YouTube.com. How do you compare to the average man? Let's check it out.
This is a mathematically accurate rendering of the average American man.
Here we go.
He's 5 feet, 9¼ inches tall, 200 pounds, and 26% body fat.
Damn! Obese. Big obese ass. Look like a little stubby ass thumb.
He was created by graphic artist Nicolay Lamb to illustrate America's growing obesity crisis. But when I first saw him, another thought crossed my mind.
What's that?
How do I measure up next to this average guy? I think it's something we've all wondered at some point in time. How do I compare to the average man? Am I smarter? Hotter? Better in bed? Statistically speaking, you probably think you are. 65% of Americans think they're above average intelligence, 69% above average attractiveness, and 80% think they're above average in bed.
Where you got them stats from? You just putting shit on the graph? Where you got them shits from? Have you went out into the real world, bro? A lot of these folks, like deep down, they may say the opposite, but they don't think it. They may say the opposite. So they will say that they are very confident, they're boisterous, they're going to voice their opinion no matter who's around, no matter what they're doing. But deep down, they don't think that about themselves. Like they're not a very confident person with what they say and how they articulate themselves. Word up.
Even though logically 80% can't be above average, we still think so. This is due to what's called the better than average effect, a bias that leads us to overrate ourselves in just about everything.
Okay.
Morality, intelligence, our ability to land a plane. But if nearly everyone thinks they're above average in everything, is there a way to really know where we stand? In this video, we're going to break down the stats, the science, and the surprising realities of where the average man really stands, and use those stats to put something together to definitively say if you're actually above average. So, to break down the stats of the average man, we're going to go over 3 categories.
Okay.
Appearance, wealth, and relationships.
All right.
Starting out with the physical attributes of the average man, he is, as mentioned earlier, 5 feet 9¼ inches tall, weighing 199.8 pounds, and is 26% body fat. But he's also 37 years old. Despite being the same height, the average 25-year-old American is 20 pounds lighter than the average 37-year-old, and is only 21% body fat, 5% lower than his older counterpart, showing the decline of the average man's body composition as he ages. Another thing that declines with age is the average man's hairline. At 20 years old, the average man has a Norwood 1 hairline, meaning only small amounts of recession at the temples. But by 37, the overall average, the average man has a Norwood 3 hairline, significant temple
Can't relate to that, cuz.
recession. Although not really part of appearance, strength is something I'm sure you're curious about anyway. So here's how strong the average man is.
Okay.
The average man benches 135 pounds, squats 155 pounds, and deadlifts 175 pounds.
Oh, that's booty butt. That's booty butt. But wait, but what's age though? What are we doing back to the what is it? 37? 37? Damn, that's that. If you 37 and you average, you can rep a 45 on each side, let's say 8 to 10 times. That's not good. And you can squat just a 10? Yeah, a 10 on both sides, so a 45 and a 10. And then you can deadlift 45 and 20 on both sides. That's booty butt.
This may seem low to some of you, but when you account for the fact that only 23% of Americans go to the gym, it makes a lot of sense. The last part of appearance to discuss is the schlong. The average man is 5.36 inches long, according to a meta-analysis using lengths measured by researchers, notably a full inch shorter than the average self-reported length.
Well, we're not going to speak about ourselves yet, okay? We're not, because, I mean, this is what we're doing. We're doing this self-analysis, right, guys? But if we're talking about the schlong department,
researchers, notably a full inch shorter than the average self-reported length. Moving on to wealth, the income of the average American man is $65,752 per year before taxes.
Okay. Which is like 45, 48.
This will obviously vary depending on age, though. These are the average annual incomes in America by age cohort. Young men, as expected, earn less than their older counterparts, with earning power peaking around 50 before gradually declining until retirement. In addition to income, we need to look at the average
man's
net worth.
Hey.
Despite the earning power of the American population
You feeling better?
Good, the net worth of Americans is not as high as you might expect. $270K with retirement right around the corner is a pretty tough spot to be in. And when we look at the cash savings of the average American man, around $5,300, we begin to see the average man is just getting by financially. The last category to discuss is relationships.
Okay, relationship.
They're the primary motivator behind almost everything the average man does.
Word
he
up.
Gets in shape to attract women, works a job to support a family.
Most of them, yeah.
They're why he does what he does.
Yeah, yeah.
But how well is it working? How successful is the average man with women? Well, this is the timeline of the average American man.
Okay.
The average man has his first kiss at 15 years old.
First kiss. Okay, first actual kiss. He said 15. I might have been like 12. Might have been 12. Well, no. I was definitely way younger. But, yeah.
Around 17, he loses his virginity. He eventually gets...
That was 15. 16. Yeah, that was 16 for me. I just never liked kiss on the lips. You don't like kiss on, so your boyfriend like want to kiss you on the lips, you're gonna tell him no? Kiss me on the cheek? Or kiss my ass?
gets married at 30, and he'll have 2 children in the following years. He'll experience intimacy with 7 partners by the end of his life.
Experience 7 partners at the end of his life. 7 individuals. Wow.
And around 54 times a year throughout his adult life. When single, he'll experience intimacy with 1 new partner a year, but he's in a relationship more than he's not. There's been a movement recently pushing the idea that dating is over for the average man.
That's what they say.
I'm not so sure about that. Looking at the statistical averages, the average man's dating life isn't actually that bad. Anyways, that's all the numbers. So, let's get to the fun part.
Okay.
Let's figure out if you are actually above average. Taking the stats of the average man, I put together a program that takes your stats and cross-references them with the average man to evaluate your personal sexual market value. The program takes your stats and adjusts them to be relative to your age, and then returns the exact percentile you rank among the population, with the average man mapped perfectly to the 50th percentile, definitively letting you know whether you're above or below average, and by how much, at least as far as SMV goes. I also built an option to get a detailed report that gives you specific insights into your percentile, like your exact looks, career, and physique scores, as well as a personalized improvement plan. I spent months putting this thing together, and it's by far the most accurate assessment of yourself you can get out there. It's absolutely free, the first link in the description. Check it out, leave a comment letting me know what you got, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hey, great concept, great all of that. I ain't doing that. Incels drool. I will definitely leave a like. That's awesome though. Look at him. Look at him. That stats don't matter, and people are bombarded with advertising, social media, and reality television, which distorts what people think is normal. Goddamn incel. Go outside. Go outside and talk to some nigga. Go outside and talk to some nigga. I know someone is hurt when they put their stuff in that test. Yeah. I ain't doing that shit though. Because I mean, guys, listen. I mean, that comment wasn't wrong, but you know, there's just there's just too many things that are at stake with us already. You know what I'm saying? Too many things, bro. Like I told y'all, a couple streams ago, like, you know, you got to be weary of, like, Kiki, you got to be weary, or you should be weary of dudes who are consumed by social media too much. You know what I'm saying? Doom scrollers, doom consumers, you know? Because they could be on Instagram or TikTok looking at these relationships, these couple goals, and these, you know, this fake ass shit, right? Whole time, they're getting a disgusting image of you. Y'all are in a relationship. They getting a nasty image of you slowly but surely because they trying to project what they see on social media onto you, and you're not that.